So now let us start with fetching our API data. Successfully, we have created our fake API on a fake server. So now what we want to do, we just want to fetch this data so that we can render the data on screen. Now the question is, when do we need to fetch the data? So we want to load the data when our application is being mounted, which means as soon as my application is loaded, I just want to start fetching my data. So I'm just going to come inside app.js, and here I have rendered this end quiz. So in my project, I will be having that component. So what I will do, I do not want to render anything. I will simply remove, and also I'm just going to remove this import. Instead, I will simply pass empty div. Now here I am not having anything. Now what I just want to fetch my fake API data. So for that, again, we are going to use our use effect hook. So here I will be writing use effect. As soon as I hit enter, this hook will be imported from React library. Inside this, we are going to pass two arguments. First will be the callback function, and second, we are going to pass dependency array. So here I'm just going to write function, first argument, and then second, I will be passing dependency array. As of now, I do not have any dependency. So here simply I'm just going to give empty array. So basically, if I just want to fetch only once, here I will not be passing any value inside this dependency array. Now here inside this, we are going to write the code to fetch our API data. So you can use async await, you can use Axios, but let us now use simple fetch function. Single quotes, and inside this, I'm just going to pass this link, copy and paste. Because inside this link itself, we are having our entire API data. Then it is going to return promise. As of now, we are considering we have successful promise. So that promise we are going to handle using then method. And here, whatever response we are getting, entire thing we are just going to convert using JSON method. And again, it is going to return promise. Finally, now we will be having our data. So again, we are going to use then method, and inside this we will pass data, and here simply we are just going to log this data. And from here, I will remove this semicolon. Save it. Come here. Come to this project. Inspect this. Now here, if you see, I am having array of 10. If I open successfully, I am able to fetch entire API data, and I am able to display on my console. Then finally, if I am having any error, here I will catch inside this catch method. Then here I will be passing error object, and simply as of now I am just going to display error. Save it. Come here, refresh this. Now successfully I am able to fetch the data. So whatever data I am having in my API, I am able to display in console. But if I am having some error inside this link, let me just remove this colon. Save it. Come here, refresh this. Now you can see this error is displayed. So if I am not able to fetch any data, directly I will come inside this catch method and error will be handled. Let me just put back that colon. Save it. Come here, refresh this. Successfully, I am able to fetch entire API data and display on console. So now what we want, whatever data we are having inside console, we just want to render that data on screen. So what we are doing, we are just updating some data on screen. So basically what we are doing, we are just updating our UI. So whenever we are updating our UI, we need piece of state. But in this project, if we use state hook to manage the state, then entire thing becomes complex, and for each and everything we have to create lot of state variables. Instead, we are going to use reducer hook. And inside one central place, we are going to manage entire state, and based on different status value, we are going to render our components.